Welcome back to the Pilot Pulse channel, where we navigate the latest trends in the aviation world. In today's episode, we're charting a course through the shifting landscape of pilot hiring trends in 2024 and how we'll see a significant decline in pilot hiring over the next 12 months.
Oh boy.
With a return to somewhat of a normalcy thereafter.
You had me scared there.
And later, we'll delve into a discussion on the broader media landscape's impact on aviation. Now let's take a deeper look into today's insights. February's numbers have just landed and they're painting quite a telling picture of the current state of the pilot hiring. As we cruise through 2024, the industry's momentum appears to be tapering off compared to the high-flying days of the past few years. Here's a quick look at the climb and descent in pilot hiring numbers each February from 2019 to 2024. During the pre-COVID era, the month of February 2019 welcomed 461 new pilots. This number was relatively larger than the years prior. February 2020 was the last full month of normal hiring prior to the onslaught of COVID ravaging the hiring industry, bringing in 518 pilots, with the majority of airlines hiring through the end of February 2020 prior to canceling classes on short notice for March 2020 and beyond.
Always hurts to hear that one.
The turbulent times of 2021 slowed the industry down to just 137 new pilots being solely hired at cargo airlines such as FedEx, UPS, Atlas, and Kalitta. In 2022, the month of February saw the second most pilot hires on record with 965 hires, just as airlines had almost completely full-spooled their hiring and training departments.
Now we're talking!
Lastly, in 2023, the all-time record of 1,052 pilots for any February in history was marked, setting the all-time pilot hiring record for the month of February. Now here's the big turning point that I have alluded to in my past video. February 2024 marks a significant drop in the historical trend, with only 732 pilots hired across all major airlines. For perspective, this is a 30.5% decrease from the previous year. Overall, the year of 2024 is forecasted to reach only 41% of the total hiring volume compared to that of 2022 and 43% of 2023. This represents a significant downtrend of 59% year over year from 2022 and 57% from 2023.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Most notably, regional airlines have also slowed significantly, with current new hires predominantly joining at ever-slowing rates almost exclusively through pathway programs or as high-time first officers with prior 121 experience. For example, GoJet Airlines, which is a domestic regional operator functioning exclusively for United Airlines, flying a fleet of about 70 CRJ-550s, announced that it no longer seeks new hire first officers, as it has all of its future new hire classes filled through the end of 2024.
Never seen anything like it.
This new information solidifies the idea that the U.S. aviation hiring is slowing and at a pace that the industry hasn't more or less naturally seen in over a decade. The slowing seems to be mostly contributed to the fact that U.S. major carriers have been hiring for record numbers of new aircraft to be delivered in fiscal year of 2024, but are now having to drastically slash the expected number of new aircraft for this year, due mostly in part to Boeing 737 MAX woes and some due to delays in aircraft certification of the Airbus A321XLR. Accordingly, the new hire pilot demand has been slashed for the year, thus trickling down to decreasing demand for the regional pilot hiring industry as well. Since the predominance of the current pilot hiring downtrend is massively related to reduced aircraft delivery schedules by Boeing and Airbus, followed distantly by engine groundings on some select Airbus fleets, the current hiring downtrend will only expectedly last for about 12 months or so, barring no more massive production issues with current aircraft manufacturers.
One can only hope.
Predicated this information remains constant, aircraft delivery rates would expectedly increase next year, resupplying the demand for the pilot hiring industry. If you're current and qualified to get a job at a U.S. legacy carrier and are not in a pathway program, the next year will be very tough for you competitively. If you're aiming to become qualified and competitive in the next 24 months or beyond, you should face less headwinds than someone trying to get a job today. However, it will still be a bit more headwind than someone who was hired in 2022 and 2023. I hope this technical analysis was informational to you, and I'll be sure to keep it coming in the future. With all the pilot hiring talk, it's time to change the tune just a little bit. I now want to talk a little bit about aviation spotlight and the media lately. It's impossible not to notice the media's spotlight on our industry. Lately, Boeing and United Airlines have been at the center of this attention, illustrating the trend of negative media coverage and the factless clickbait titles that often overlooks the reliability or accuracy of the information being shared.
Thanks, Tom. Some damn fine reporting.
It's crucial to highlight that while these stories grab headlines, similar stories from other airlines and manufacturers often fly under the radar unnoticed. Truthfully, the statistical data shows that there's no more incidents today than there were a year ago or more. Rather, the media's attention to such tiny insignificant events escalates the nature of these events to the flying public, who might view certain events as scary when flying itself makes most people nervous to begin with, even though they are still more likely to die in their own bed being hit in the head by a falling coconut rather than dying in a U.S. passenger airline accident.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
However, because the media is magnetized to sensationalizing these events, it appears to the flying public as if flying is becoming more dangerous, and when it comes to that speculation, the general public views it as a threat by flying in general and not particularly to just one carrier. In the coming weeks, we can expect the media's attention to pivot to the next big thing. However, as aviators and enthusiasts, it's our duty to avoid armchair flying or speculating certain events based on preliminary or vague data. This approach helps protect our colleagues, our profession, and most importantly, our entire industry's culture of safety. It's worth noting, amidst all the coverage, there hasn't been one single report of an injury, a testament to the industry's safety standards.
That's right! That's right!
Let's continue to protect our industry and maintain our commitment to safety by staying vigilant, professional, and refraining from voicing our opinions on social media. That's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Pilot Pulse channel. If you found today's insights valuable, be sure to subscribe, share with your fellow aviation enthusiasts, and leave us a review down below. Stay safe, everyone, and I hope you find those tailwinds.